I want to inspire you guys as well, because I've got a story that I'm going to share. And it all started in 2012 when I was diagnosed with colitis. It's a digestive disease where you get ulcers in your colon. And this is me in the hospital in week 1. So this is the doctors basically said, all right, we'll shove a camera up your bum and see what's wrong. So they did that, and they said, okay, we'll leave you in hospital for 1 week because they just wanted to observe what was happening. So I stayed in hospital for a week. Things weren't that good. They progressively got a little bit worse, and they sort of told me that they put me on drugs straight away, as you do in hospital, and it didn't really do much. The first week, second week went by, and I didn't get any better. And so this is week 2. You can see they stuck a catheter in my the largest vein to feed me, because they didn't put me on food during the time because they wanted to, because it was a digestive problem. They wanted to see if the medication could work. So basically, I was in hospital for 6 weeks in total, and they put me on the highest dosage of medication one can get. I was on steroids, I was on antibiotics, I was on sleeping pills, I was on immunosuppressants, which are really bad. They're drugs that you give to people that want organ transplants to shut your immune system down so that they accept the organ. And I didn't have an organ transplant, and they put me on that. So that was some really strong stuff. And this is actually my inside, my colon. You can't really see it very well, but those yellow things are actually ulcers.
Right.
So they're about that big. And this actually leads to cancer if you don't treat it well. And obviously doctors only knew one way of treating it, which is through the drugs and medication. And actually, large intestine got worse during hospital, when I was in hospital. And so we didn't really know what to do because I was getting worse, and my parents actually flew from New Zealand, came to Japan, and they saw me. They were in shock because I'd been under their care for 5 weeks, and I looked like this, and I just had everything strapped to me. They were just trying to do whatever they could, the doctors, because they didn't really know what was wrong with me. And of course, we knew what was wrong with me all the time. Well, now we do. And so it was until it was in the 5th week actually when my mum was like, I've got to find a cure. So she started searching online, and she found one. And it was this book. It's called Self-Healing Colitis Crohn's. It's there. And so this book, the person who wrote this book, or the doctor who wrote this book, he had the same disease as I did for 8 years, and he went through the same process as me. And he wanted to find a cure. So he actually did find a cure, and that was through the whole foods plant-based diet, so no meat, no dairy. And he has been 31 years now, symptom-free, disease-free. And so we read that book in hospital. It took us about 4 days to read it. And we started to implement the principles that were in there. We actually contacted him via email and said, hey man, give us some advice. So I stopped taking medication in hospital. I was lucky enough to do that because the nurses would just come in and drop the medication, and I'd just be like, oh, I'll take it later. So they didn't actually see me take it. So I was actually screwing up in tissue paper and throwing it in the bin. And as soon as I started juicing, as soon as I started eating like smoothies, as you just had now, and lots of fruit and veg, steamed vegetables in the evening, my colon started to clear up. So this is after 1 week, so there's no yellow spots anymore. That means that all the ulcers had gone, and it's just scarring that's left. And after 1 week, I actually got discharged out of hospital, doing the things that the book said. It's called the vegan healing diet. So basically it healed me up. And the doctors my mum asked, how has he gotten so much better? And their response was, the medication's working. And obviously we know that I wasn't taking it because I was throwing it in the bin. And that was my last day. And you can see the difference. I mean, if I can go from being bedridden and not able to talk, walk, to now, on a vegan diet, on a plant-based diet, there's nothing lacking. There's enough protein, there's enough calcium, there's enough iron, all that stuff's all there. We just don't know about it, and we've been misleaded. So if I can go from like this, from disease to no disease, and to heal, I'm pretty sure everything's working in the plant kingdom. My journey to a life after colitis, Part 1, Japan. It all started when I was teaching English to primary school students